feeling relieved, and we think that we can trust you. And
even though you are the seller agent.
yeah, even though
Yeah.
even though you are a seller, we think that we can trust you, and we think that we can discuss very openly with you.
All right.
And we think that what information you gave us is true. It's very sincere.
Olá a todos, espero que estejam muito bem desse lado. Hoje estou aqui muito bem acompanhado pela Mai e pelo Light. Eles são vietnamitas, compraram agora a casa aqui no Porto e hoje vamos falar em inglês. So, in English, thank you Mai, thank you Light for having the possibility to shoot this video and to share your experience buying a house here in Portugal. The first house that you bought, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. That's true though.
With all our viewers, so thank you very much. All right. Do you want to share where are you come from and what the hell you come from the other part of the world to Porto? Why Porto?
Okay, maybe you first. Where do you come from?
Yeah, I'm from Vietnam, and especially like in the south of Vietnam, from Ho Chi Minh City. And she's from the north of Vietnam.
Back in Vietnam, Light is an IT guy, and I worked for corporate communications. And one time I decided that I need a career break.
All right.
So that is why we started to planning which countries and which cities we want to pursue a higher education and try living there.
All right. That's why nowadays you are studying and Light is working internationally, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
But in your discoveries of the world, which part of the world we want to live? How did you discover Porto?
At the beginning, we start, of course, listing down the countries and the cities that we think that it's appropriate and suitable for our lifestyle.
So there's
first,
a lot of,
there are a lot of the options, to be honest. First off, the priorities, I think that we are both the person that really value the natural scenes, the mountains, near the beach, and there would be space for us to walk around the cities when we have free time. And we don't want a more cosmopolitan vibe, more big city vibes, because we both from biggest cities in Vietnam. We live
city.
there.
Your city, how much people, how many people live there?
We have even more people than Portugal, just in our city.
All right.
Just
All right.
And our city is at the same size as Porto metropolitan. So.
All right. All right.
So yeah, that's huge.
All right. All right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people as well.
A lot of people.
Landscaping?
Yes.
Landscaping.
Small cities?
Small city.
Not
Same.
too big of a city, but we still want to have somewhere that you like have a lot of activities and own the convenient things that a city can have. I don't think that we are suitable to live in a village or something.
Yeah, we cannot live in more countryside. No, it's maybe it's not for us.
I was born in the biggest city in Vietnam, and then I lived there for my whole life. And I used to live in Europe for a short time as well, but yeah.
In Amsterdam, no?
Yeah, in Amsterdam. So it's nice to be back in Europe as a whole. But in terms of, when we try to choose cities to live, one of the things that really make us to consider is the weather.
All right.
So she cannot handle the cold or the coldness in a lot of cities in Europe, especially in the winter.
Yeah.
And I cannot handle the hot back in Vietnam or here as well. So we try to find somewhere that we have a lot of natural sunlight throughout the year and good weather.
All right.
Good weather.
So yeah.
And maybe the last thing, the third priorities for us is a suitable and reasonable cost of living.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Beside housing, of course, but
of course, beside housing.
All right. So landscape, not too big, yes. Weather, and cost of living.
Yes.
So the short list was Porto and the other 2 or 3.
Yeah.
That you consider.
So we also consider southern Italy,
All right.
as well as Spain.
All right.
And then we also depends on like her higher education pursuit as well.
All right.
So we list out a lot of cities, and then later on we also try to look at the universities and all things that happen around the city. So, and she tried to apply to other universities in several countries as well. And then after that, we have another shortlist, I think.
Yes, we have another shortlist. Actually, we also have Lisbon, you know.
We also have Lisbon. We also have Turin in Italy.
All right.
A little bit cold, but not too bad.
Yeah.
And we also have like Napoli as well
Right.
in southern Italy.
All right.
But yeah, so a year later, a year after that, I'm sorry. In 2023,
Yes.
I had a scouting trip, I think, a scouting trip. So I go and travel around all of the cities and all of the universities, campus, to make sure that we can make like a good choice or acceptable choice. And then I went to Lisbon, I went to Porto. I like here more.
I understand you quite well. I love Porto, so I understand you quite well.
So that's why one of the reason why I told my wife, yeah, we can choose either way, but we should choose Porto.
All right. And when you are in Portugal, after 1 year, I think, you start looking for a house to buy, the first house. So you are first buyers.
Yeah.
And what is that experience? What do you feel when you start looking in terms of information here in Portugal, in terms of information, in terms of services, in terms of properties? What were your surprise? And you don't, you think you expect different?
So actually, this is going to be a lot to say on this journey. Light actually started looking for a house when we still in Vietnam. We hasn't arrived right here yet. And every day he will log on the Idealista platform and looking for a house that can match our needs and of course our budget as well.
Yeah.
But I also recognize that whenever we see an option that is affordable and suitable for us, there would be already 100 contacts to that agent already.
Yeah, first of all, we start looking at the rental properties.
Yeah.
So we were looking for a place to rent, not to buy. But whenever we see
as income, as a revenue, yes?
No, we're looking
to have a revenue.
To live.
To live, yes, sorry.
To live. So first of all, we just look for somewhere to live, and we're gonna rent it.
Yeah.
But then whenever we try to look for somewhere, and okay, this is good, this looks good, a lot of people also think that.
Yeah.
And it was quite a competitive scene, and yeah, it's quite difficult to find a good one, in here, especially in Porto, when we already chose Porto to move. Yeah, so we live in an Airbnb at first. Of course, it's still nice. It's still nice, but we have a lot of other things we want to have as like our own private space. So now we look for somewhere that we can rent again, but for long term.
Yeah.
It was tough.
It was tough.
It was really tough. So yeah, and then it's funny to say that, but here in Europe or in Portugal, yeah, for a lot of people just try to find a place to live, and if they are lucky and they have the means to do so, it's better to buy than to rent. Yeah, and we are really lucky and fortunate that we can try to look at that option.
All right.
And then when we try to look at the options,
another journey begins.
Yeah, and then still we search on Idealista.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's going to be Idealista, and then from referrals from the agent from Idealista as well. And then we look at the photos, we look at the location, we try to imagine that how it's gonna be if we live there, and we try to look at it in person as well.
All right.
So we look we went to around like 12 to 15
12 to
houses.
15.
Yes.
So that's not a lot. That's not a lot. And
It depends on the people.
but
Some
still,
people need 3, some people need 50 or more.
yeah. But so yeah, there's a lot of options, and there are pros and cons, and we also have not a lot of budget as well. So
Yeah.
so yeah, when we try to look on Idealista, I saw this apartment. And I saw your photos.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of details, information about the place. That's one good thing that we can count on already, because of course, when we try to use Idealista before, there's a lot of information that are missing when we try to look at the property as well. So yours information is actually quite detailed, and that's one of the good things that we can try to imagine how it's going to work. And I think this is the only 1 or 2 option that we, after the whole process,
Consider.
Yeah, we can consider to put an offer. But she gonna be the one who decide, like, okay, let's pursue this house or let's pursue this apartment.
All right.
Yeah, I have no say on that about that.
About pursuing the house, the apartment, you have 1 or 2 options, yes, and you like this one, and you start really looking forward to getting all the information that you needed, yes?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
I think that 1 and 2 strengths that this apartment have that really stand out to me is that it's really spacious and it has so much natural light.
Yeah.
And I'm really into it. Like, I want the house to have as much natural light as much as possible.
Yeah, you can look at her every day. She's gonna bathe in it every day. She's gonna like just open the door and I'm gonna just sit here,
admiring the sunlight.
Yes, because this has very good light.
Yeah.
It has 3 facades, more or less. Well,
more or less.
2 fronts, but it has 3 levels, so you have a lot of good spaces, and you have also always balconies.
Yeah, we have the balcony.
Each front, so it gives more light in the windows. Yes, so that's a good option. And but when you first visit, and I remember that we crossed the other side of the road, and I felt, because this apartment needs some works and some, that it would be higher than your budget. And my feeling was, well, they are going to stick with the budget. So
I am.
So we will have to look otherwise. But for my surprise, 1 or 2 days after you called me, and I think you get another visit to have a budget or someone, I'm not sure about that. Yes. So
I think we have a second visit to inspect the house more detail, so that we can calculate the renovation budgets that we
need to put in just to make it livable.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't really need to make like a big renovation, but now so now how much we can upgrade
we can work around
we can work around it.
Yes.
And nowadays that you live on that, you already bought a few months ago. I'm not sure about the exact time, but we are recording this after some times, and you look happy to bought the house. So it's a good experience, no?
At least she's happy.
we did a photos album of 2024 recap, and due to the photo, I think that we moved to the house on 8th of March. International Women's Day.
Yeah, around that, yes.
So it's nearly 1 year to us. And I think that maybe for me personally, I am extremely happy with the house.
Because if you don't like it, we can sell it again.
Yeah.
But I'm not hoping that. I'm not hoping that, because this house is quite unique. In 16 years, I don't know a lot of houses like this one in some aspects. All right. And in terms of experience buying a house here in Portugal, what you can say for all the foreigners that want to come here to Portugal? It's easy. It's not easy. It's a lot of cost in terms of taxes. Know about information, about registries and so on. What do you feel it about real estate? What do you feel it?
I think I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is a very exhausting journey. a very challenging experience, and it's not for the weak.
All right.
Okay.
To be honest,
Yes.
that is what it feels for me, especially for foreigners.
All right.
As per you already said, it's not just like go to the groceries and buying a random stuff. It will need time and effort to study very detailedly what you need, what is your budget, and of course there comes another process of the documentations and papers to get it all legalized. So it's very a challenging experience. But I think that during the journey we are very fortunate because that we have met you.
Oh,
To be honest,
thank you.
I think that among all the agents, what we really appreciate in the service and in you specifically is the transparency.
All right.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's very feeling relief, and we think that we can trust you. And
Even though you are the seller agent.
yeah, even though
Yeah.
even though you are a seller, we think that we can trust you, and we think that we can discuss very openly with you.
All right.
And we think that what information you gave us is true. It's very sincere. And that is why I think that there was one time I called you after I studied in the university. I think it's 9 p.m. or
Yes.
something. You still pick up the phone and you still open to discuss with me. That is
Yes.
what I really appreciate.
That's not really good in terms of work-life
I know.
No problem
Just
about
kidding.
that.
It's quite too far, that
Yeah.
scenario, but
Yes, because it was, we had at some point, I can't remember exactly, but we have at some point some issue about this negotiation. I'm not sure about it was the papers or it was the price or the conditions. I'm not sure, but at some point it was a breaking point. But
Yes.
we passed that, and
Yes.
that's good.
So that's actually one of the most challenging things as well, because like English is our second language.
oh yes.
And English
For
is
us,
your
yes.
second language as well. And we could try, and then whenever we try to look at the Portuguese document, we need to take a lot of time to really understand it, even though we also have our lawyer as well.
All right.
And it's really easy to have miscommunication,
Yes.
even though those are really small, but it's make the whole process is not as easy as it look.
Yeah.
It's getting better and better along the way.
You also choose an apartment that was special, but with some age and needing some works.
Yes.
And the condominium also was doing some works.
Yes.
Yes.
So it was not the buying a new car. It was a old car that needs to go to the repairing, and that's not so easy at all. Yes. All right. You already told something about our services, but when we were working together, what do you feel that it was good? You already told me transparency, and thank you a lot. I always think that all the houses has a buyer, and sometimes can be you or can be another one. But what is for me very, very important, it's after a few months or a year, we can be here, and you have the kindness to bring me some gifts from Indonesia. That's
From Vietnam.
now from Vietnam. Sorry.
It's okay.
From Vietnam, yes. It's the first couple that I follow from Vietnam, and it's in my living room, so I'm never going to forget you. All right? So thank you a lot. If my kids don't break it, but I hope so. But thank you a lot. But for me, it's important to know what we can do better next time, what you've missed, what you would like to have it at some point.
Maybe you will share it because
I think in terms of it's going to be easier for me to have an offer on the house if I can have more information or have more recommendation about how to make it better later on. Then we can budget it.
All right.
For example, for this house, it takes more work to do that, and then when we try to place an offer, we need to think about it as well within our budget, but we don't know how much it's gonna cost to do this or do that for a lot of stuff. So it's gonna be better just to have some kind of reference or benchmark or something like that for example, if you want to do flooring, it's usually gonna cost this much. If you want to paint the house, usually it's gonna cost this much.
All right.
And again, because we don't speak the language, we couldn't now as well. Yeah, we're gonna try better. Now we can understand just a little bit, but still. But yeah, so it's gonna be really challenging because all of the supplier here, of course, we couldn't expect them to speak English well.
Yes.
And we're gonna try to use Google Translate and ChatGPT to try to talk to them. And most of the time, it creates a lot of miscommunication. Most of the time, not not like 1 or 2 times. And then it was really challenging because and there was a lot of them that later on just ghost us, like they disappear without messaging. So yeah, it's gonna be much better if we have some kind of reference check, just the information. There's no need to have like recommended suppliers or something like that. Just a list of reference. If you want to do something, it's gonna be cost around this much.
Yes. It's a good suggestion. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you want to have like air conditioning for your house, usually it's gonna cost around this much.
Yes.
And because like it's really funny because like we asked for the quotation from like 4 suppliers, and
a lot of changes.
Yeah, a lot of changes for the same specs, for the same models, and it was really difficult to get the quotation as well.
Yes.
Like they're gonna come here, they're gonna ask for so many questions again, same thing. The thing that we already like tell them or take screenshots, take photos, take video clips, but then and then we need to wait for like a week or more for them to have a quotation. And then later on, some of them just didn't give any quotation at all, just disappear.
Right.
So just to do one thing, it already took a lot of effort. So, but we need to do a lot of other small things as well. Like sometimes it's just too small for them to care.
Yes.
So that's why.
Yes, that's one of the issues right now in Portugal, because there are a lot of demands in terms of construction, and sometimes
I can see around here.
Some words are harder than the other ones. Some clients are harder than the other ones, and so at some point, some people give up. And and it's not about you. With us, it's actually the same. All right, it depends on the amount. Yes. Well, thank you for all your patience or your kindness to give us this interview. I hope it can be a lot helpful for people that are coming here to Portugal. A good suggestion from you, Light, all right, that we will try to have it.
Just a reference list.
Yes, it's good to have some support from construction. It varies sometimes. For instance, if you make new construction here in Portugal with some dimension, if you build a building in 2019, it would cost around 850, 900 per square meter. But nowadays, probably 1,500. So it has a lot of changes in a few times. So that makes a little bit harder to say, well, it's going to cost this, but we can try to have it a little bit better.
Just to have like an estimation.
Yes, and I will try to have that partnership working, because I need some support from people that are in construction. But that's a very good suggestion. You already also told some parts of what has been harder here in Portugal. And about Portugal, to finish it, about Portugal, what do you say after living here for, I'm not sure, 1 or 2 years, more or less, I'm not sure. What do you say, or 1.5 years, I'm not sure, but what do you really like it and was surprised, and what you, well, it could be better in this way. It's different for sure from Vietnam. What are your feelings living here and knowing here and buying a place here?
So actually, we just came back to visit Vietnam on last August. And we spent 2 months there in Vietnam, around 2
2 months and a
months.
half or 3 months, something.
And during that 2 months, we really miss going back to this house.
That's good. That's good. That's a good feeling.
It's,
We call it saudade.
yeah.
Alright?
Apart from the fact that because we already settled, we already set up this house to be the place that we call it home, with a lot of facilities that adapt to our needs. Apart from that, of course, I think what we already appreciate is the weather, the air quality,
Oh yeah.
the natural, the landscape, and we miss the time that we can walk on the streets or on a nearby park just to relax. We really miss the time.
Maybe it's not that unique to just Porto or Portugal, but we really appreciate it. And but yeah, one of the things I could really really say that I like it. I can say that I really like it is the weather. Now we are in the winter.
January.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, now we are in the winter and you can see the sunlight here.
Yes.
This is a good year for the winter.
Yes, that's a very
Not
good
last year's, but this is good.
It was more raining. last
Yes,
year.
yes. And in terms of, like the house, the insulation is not that bad. We don't have any problem with the insulation. And we also have the air conditioning in our apartment. So all in all, it's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, with the weather as well. So it's all in all, the winter this year is pretty good.
All right. We are lucky to have you here in Porto. Thank you for this journey, and I hope you can be very, very happy here in Portugal. And thank you for trusting us. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Para todos que estão desse lado, muito obrigado por ainda nos estarem a acompanhar, mas acho que foi muito útil esta partilha e este testemunho que a Mai e o Light tiveram a disponibilidade de nos dar. Obrigado a todos, espero ver-vos em breve. O meu nome é Luís Baldac. Mai, Light, thank you very much and see you briefly.